Okay.
In Argentina.
We feel like we never get the chance to party very much because we're always on the road.
You guys can hear that, no?
Liam Payne's shocking death, an eyewitness tells ET the singer was physically aggressive and had passed out just minutes before his fatal fall. We're breaking down the new details with the ongoing investigation.
Those are the critical questions that need to be answered.
And the heartbreaking tributes from his grieving loved ones.
Tonight, let's get some and live while we're young.
Liam died after falling from a hotel balcony in Argentina on October 16th. An early autopsy saying among Liam's 25 injuries, his severe head trauma alone was enough to kill the 31-year-old singer, who plummeted 45 feet to his death.
I'm trying to get more into my liquors.
The illegal substances reportedly found in his system includes pink cocaine, a mix typically of meth, ketamine, and MDMA, and a prescription anti-anxiety medication, as well as cocaine and crack.
It's my understanding that there was alcohol and multiple pieces of drug paraphernalia that could be helpful in leading the investigation and also guiding the testing.
Liam's toxicology results reportedly stopping his father, Jeff, from taking his son's body back to the UK.
Election day is closer than you think, and the choice couldn't be more clear. A vote for President Trump is a vote for lower energy.
That's Liam's dad at a memorial outside the hotel where his son died, and where investigators were seen Wednesday seizing evidence as they zero in on who supplied Liam with drugs.
Yes,
it's very complex testing. And when you have multiple substances that they've alluded to that were in his system, they all need to be verified. And the exact amount within his bloodstream needs to be quantitated, meaning.
Okay, so everybody hear that? Quantitated. Meaning not just how many different things was the guy taking, but how much of each thing was in his system. That really is the real question here. Because if you're just dabbling a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you're just kind of a little touch and go with several different things, that has quite the different impact on the body versus you just gone straight ham on one thing. And, of course, when you get fucked up, pardon my French, but when you get fucked up, you have this mind state where you just want to keep going, especially for addicted people, which we know he was. You just have this mind state where you just want to keep going and going and going and going. So I think the real key is what this lady here just mentioned. It's not so much about all the different substances found in his system, although that does play into it and plays into his behavior. But I think we get a closer, more accurate look into what his behavior must have been like that night if we're thinking more about how much he was taking of each individual thing and which thing he had the most of, I think matters as well, if that makes sense. Let's keep listening.
The amount needs to be determined, not just that the drug is there. There's really no reason to hold the body. Holding it until every single piece of data is back is highly unusual.
Where I had 12 strokes and 6 heart attacks where I was poisoned due to drugs. And that still wasn't enough.
Lamar Odom.
For those of you who don't know, this is Lamar Odom, professional basketball player back in the day. He struggled with drug addiction for a long time, actually started kind of a therapy program to help others struggling with the same thing. It will allude to that a little later on, but I might actually skip over that part. But he gives some really good information about what pink cocaine is, because it's kind of a newer thing. It's kind of a newer thing that's come on the scene recently, but he actually talks about it a little bit and the effects of it. So listen in for that here momentarily.
On Tuesday, the former NBA player started Odom Recovery Group to help fellow recovering addicts and has experience taking these same drugs.
What is pink cocaine?
Tootsie is what they call it. It helps you enhance sex. Tootsie. So I was wondering, like, did he have any female company with him who could have assisted him and kept him alive?
Hours before his death, Liam was also reportedly seen arguing with a woman about money. By then, his girlfriend of 2 years, Kate Cassidy, had gone back home after a days-long vacay with Liam.
You're going home, ha ha, loser. We're going to go home and see our dog,
Our dog.
Nala.
She posted this handwritten note from Liam on Wednesday, written just a few weeks ago. He said, quote, "Me and Kate to marry within a year, engaged and together forever."
Yeah, so I just want to say that's pretty freaking sad. Seeing a note like that. These guys had plans together. You sent me a link? Where's the link? Link. Yeah, I'm going to have it together next time, man. I'm learning this aspect of it a little bit at a time. I selected the camera before starting, but for some reason it didn't give me that option. And there's a camera up here in the corner, but when I go to access that, it says you don't have this feature. You don't have access to this feature. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'll make sure I get it to where you guys can see me next time. Yeah, wait a minute. No, not cast. Picture in picture, copy video address, copy video frame, save video, open video in new tab. No, I don't think it's any of that. All right. Anyway, let's keep listening here.
Unfortunately, all of when toxicology plays a prominent part in someone's death, like I suspect it's going to be here, that's really the key data points that we're waiting for. That's going to take the longest testing.
Also unknown at this time whether Liam was conscious during his 3-story fall.
¿Qué sucede en el lugar, señor?
Bueno, tenemos un huésped que está sobrepasado de droga y alcohol y cuando está consciente está rompiendo toda la habitación y...
Somebody explain this to me right here, where this manager of the hotel is saying when he is conscious, he is breaking everything in the room. Well, what does that mean when he is conscious? Somebody explain that. Because in my mind, if you are taking enough of a, because we already know that the methamphetamine, the ecstasy, those sort of things take stimulants. Well, they are stimulants. So if you're on that kind of stuff, you know, you're going to be up, hype, wired, going here, going there. You're going to be all over the place, right? Versus whether if you're, you know, they mentioned alcohol and they mentioned the benzodiazepine, Klonopin. If you're heavy on those things, meaning you've taken a pretty large amount of those things, then I could see you being at a point of unconsciousness or semi-consciousness, like passing out. I mean, we've all, I have been drunk enough to where you kind of black out. But after blacking out from anything, and once you wake up, the last thing on my mind is jumping up and tearing up shit and turning over tables and punching holes in televisions and destructing property. The whole thing where he says when he is conscious, he is breaking everything in the room. That whole thing, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, you don't go from conscious to semi-conscious and then all of a sudden you're up destructing everything in the room. It just, that whole thing doesn't add up that much to me.
Y bueno, necesitamos que manden a alguien, por favor.
Bajo efectos de alcohol y estupefaciente, ¿no, señor?
Sí, correcto.
The 911 call hinting at a chaotic scene. The eyewitness telling ET Liam smashed his laptop over a table in the lobby. The hotel staff ushered him back to his room, but he kept coming down to the bar.
There was some mention about the body position, the way he landed may not have been fully conscious. He may not have tried to break his fall. Now, what was his mindset? Who was with him? What is he posting online? So all of these are really important police steps to take to guide the medical examiner. So it's not just the cause of death, which is why he died, it's the manner of death, which could be suicide or accident.
Y necesitamos que nos envíen a alguien urgente porque, bueno, yo no sé si corre riesgo la vida del huésped. Está en una habitación que tiene balcón y, bueno, estamos un poco con temor de que haga algo.
You said that before you heard voices or had hallucinations.
All right, real quick, let me stop here. So they are saying, and I've heard people say that the manager of the hotel discussing and mentioning that that room had a balcony seemed suspicious to them. Like, why does that matter? And what the person was insinuating about that is that maybe they were using that word balcony or throwing the word balcony out there as kind of an alibi for what they were about to do to Liam, because they felt like, you know, somebody was coming in there to throw him off of it. Or a lot of people think that he was actually murdered. Okay. Which I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with that. And, you know, we've all been around people that were completely wasted. And I absolutely can see the guests and the staff at the hotel being concerned enough to where they look and they're like, damn, this dude's falling over tables. This dude's behavior is completely 100% erratic. The thought of him being up in that hotel room by himself with a balcony feet away scares the hell out of me for him. I can absolutely see that being a thing. So I don't necessarily think the fact that they mentioned a balcony is in and of itself some sort of indication that there was an intention of foul play and they were trying to kind of cover their own tracks or create an alibi for themselves. I don't really believe that. I think they could have really just been concerned. Listen to this part right here. He talks about Lamar Odom talks about his experience with pink cocaine a little bit, and this right here is very notable.
Hallucinations when you tried that. Do you think that could have been something that happened with him?
Maybe because I heard that he might have jumped. Who knows what he was going through? There's probably a slight chance where he might have heard voices or seen some hallucinations.
We do.
All right. So that's the thing about cocaine, guys. I don't know how many of you guys, if any, have ever done cocaine. Have never been a person huge on cocaine. I have done it a couple of handfuls of times, and by a couple of handfuls of times, I mean that very literally. I've done it probably less than 10 times in my life. But I do have a little bit of experience with it. Now, think about cocaine. You have something in a pressed pill, at least you have some sort of sense or idea about how much you are taking of those. You put something, an unregulated thing that there's no governing body watching how this stuff is issued, how it's mixed together, how it's packaged and delivered to whatever consumer may be consuming that cocaine. You have no idea if they put if it's heavy on the MDMA, if it's heavy on the hallucinatory components. We don't know any of that stuff. So he may have had a batch of this pink cocaine that was 80% ecstasy, and ecstasy has, especially when taken in large amounts, has a high component of hallucinatory properties with it. And then you're thinking about this pink cocaine where he's probably snorting 2 or 3 lines here or there. He's got a whole bag of it. He's snorting 2 or 3 lines. Then he's drinking. He's chasing it with liquor. Then he's going down to the hotel lobby and he's falling all over the place and, being all obnoxious around everyone down there. And then they're dragging him back up to the room. And then he's going up there and he's, you know, and he's snorting more lines of the pink cocaine, and he's going back and back and back. There's no telling how much of that he actually ingested and consumed that night. And you heard what Lamar Odom said there. It has a heavy component of hallucination or hallucinatory properties. Dude, if this guy's up there just pink cocaine to the dome on and off for hours throughout the night, plus the liquor, plus possibility of some benzodiazepines on board, which, you know, further kind of depress and suppress all the activity in the brain. And then you got, you know, I mean, there's just so much going on here. You can absolutely see how he could get to a point that if it continued to progress throughout the night, that he was just completely intoxicated out of his mind to the point where he just didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. And if you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground, you probably don't know the balcony from the front door of the hotel. I'm just saying that could easily happen. It could easily happen. All right, I'm about to wrap this thing up here.
Do you know one reason behind Liam's trip to Argentina? Supporting an old friend.
All right, we are doing an OOTN. We are going to Niall's concert tonight. Outfit of the night.
That's Liam and Kate stepping out for Niall Horan's concert.
To this show.
Tired of guessing what's wrong with your YouTube videos? Well, vidIQ has the answers. Just connect your YouTube channel, click on,
and great things can happen.
One Direction's first manager, Simon Cowell, taking some time before he, like Zayn, spoke to Liam's memory. Quote, Liam, I am devastated, heartbroken, and I feel empty. Every tear I have shed is a memory of you.
Bright lights, the music gets faster.
I don't really think it's ever something you could ever have thought of. Really. I mean, when we finished the show, we thought something might happen, but never anything like this.
It's all about the artist. You know, the artist knows who they want to be, and these guys did. You don't have to tell them anything. They do what they want to do, and they don't do what they don't want to do. And that's why it works.
Simon revealed the two had reunited last year, adding in his tribute, I have met your son Bear. He has your smile. He will be so proud of everything you achieved.
Best part about being a dad is when they look at you, and it feels like.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, so that's what I got, guys. Just wanted to watch. I noticed that video from Entertainment Tonight came out earlier today. It has some good sound bites in it. Kind of told the story from the beginning of the night on, and told some of the, you know, notable parts of the story. But you know, guys, hit me up, whether it's on this chat or after. I want to know what your guys' latest thoughts are on this Liam Payne thing. You know, I did a poll the other day. About 38% thought that it was foul play. About 31% thought it was not foul play, that maybe it was suicide or an accident. The other 31% wasn't really sure. I fall into that category. As the days move along and as you digest it a little bit more, what now? What now? You know, what do you think now? How do you feel now? I'm interested to know. All right, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment down below, and be aware I am now monetized, so you can give a cash gift to your boy for his hard work by hitting little thanks or that little cash button at the bottom. You can give me a super. I'll know how to have my face in this thing next time. Anyway, all right. Love you guys very much. Hope you have a good night. I'm about to get up out of here. Peace.